In the previous video, we have spent a lot of time to write up a couple of functions, actually several functions for the work search count program, and it getting big from we looking for the number of the frequency that works when scanning the file. We also have the function to search for specific works in a file, and we also have the long function to process the logs. We go into the log file and extract the timestamp, the log level severity for the file. However, now the file getting big, we have to find a way to modify them and let apply some system design in here. Another word, I could say some design pattern in the object-oriented programming to get this program more simpler by divide them into like multiple files and follow the best practice for the code base. That is what we try to accomplish in this video, the file. Now let's talk about how can we organize the code and build it up as the project for Python. Since we do a lot of file scanning or try to extract the data from a file, I would love to call this project a log analyzer project. And in here, we try to divide the function we have been writing, the cow work, research specific work, or we processing the log into different file. For example, I'm thinking a Parser file where we utilize the class for parsing the logs and the tests. That is the most important thing in this program, right? We go into the file, we scan through the file, we passing the log into the command lines and let the program scan through and extract the information we're looking for. That can be the parser file. And let's divide those functions into separate program as well. For example, we have the counter file, which like we will use to counting the works to the file, and later on we can use that for more things we do as we go down in the project. And we would like to have the processor, which like represent for process log functionality down here, as you can see right there. Yes, that is the processor. And we also want to have the maybe this, let's say the main function. Yes, the main where the driver codes for on those five we're gonna run through and we gonna testing. That's what I'm thinking of. For now, probably when we get through more, we will see how we're gonna deal with it. But this is the structure for the project we going to build. The buzzer, the counter processor, and the main file where the driver code gonna be. So let me try a little bit to see. So we have the log analyzer project. We will have like the buzzer, the counter, and the processor, and they will all utilize by the driver code in main file. Of course, everything written in Python. That's my thoughts for how we're going to decompose this program, the counter program we start early, and let's do it. All right. So I don't want to spend so much time for like reorganizing. However, in here like I have two terminal open. If you pay attention close, one is open the work counts program, and another one is open the where we're going to do thing to make the log analyzer project we're gonna do. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a directory called the log analyzer, and we going to go in here. So I don't want to move or remove or like delete any code we wrote. So let's go in here. So the first thing in here, so empty for sure. I want to make a directory Python package which include the version of the project. So likely you will have to do vim underscore initial underscore doc py for Python. In here, you will start telling the package initialization file the version of this project. So you say package initialization file for this project, and you can add the version, the current version, and then we will talk about more why this is important for when you develop a program or like write a project and why it need a version. We will counter if you getting along. Yeah, I try to get you subscribe to my channel, then I will tell you more. But for now, just do whatever I do. Trust me, follow the process. Now save it and quick. So the first thing we have in here that is the initial file for version. So as we talked about early, if you can go back and see, we try to create a parser function. But as I said earlier, we try to create a parser file. Parser, yeah, no need add. In here, we will define the class and the logs parser through the file we want to read through. So look at this file. We have the workhouse program we have the process log, and you see like we have the how we go into the file path to get the function. We go into timestamp blah 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 a lot, and we return for them the log entry and log parser. So think about how the log parser could be. So for now, to be honest, like to write a class in Python, the first thing you need to do that is you need the key. Uh, so again, you insert blah blah. You need the class key that will represent like log parser. That is how you define a class in Python with the word class. And in here, I would like to define a function of code with the best practice. You need three pair of double quotes. You define how to read a file. So this function, uh, no, no, not in JavaScript, bro. So we can define the read file. As you can see in here, we have the file path. We passing the parameter for the file path. And in here it look at right there. So we define how we read the file. So we want to open the file. We want that to get like whatever we want. But in here we get the file path, and that the all we want for reading the file. We only need the file path. Oh, by the way, this is supposed to be inside. So in here, yeah, yeah. I remember it now. So we're gonna not need this one anymore. DD for delete, and you let it take this one. Yeah, just let the topic like we have the three space indents in the Python. So in here, like we define how to read the file. So we will copy more of the thing in the code block we have in the work count file, we got try and week open file path. So so for bad practice, I highly recommend tapping instead of like copy and paste, because in the end of the day you want to remember the syntax and the code you wrote, especially during the whiteboard coding interview. I'm highly recommend you should type it out instead of copy and paste. It helps you memorize a lot of things. So in here at the file, you can see we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna be have like we try open, and we going to return the file for read line, and if we hit into the except for file not found, I might speak up this process when I put in recording, but handing there, if you don't hear anything from me, it's just me tapping. Okay, get there, close. Oh, and then we ray. So this ray likely like you just ray to handle in color. We call this one later for in the color, and that is the first function to read the file in the log parser class. Now let's try another function called the extract the work, because that is what we're looking for, right? We extract the works in the file. So likely we need to use this regular expression later in here, but let's see how I'm gonna write this one. So extract the work, we're gonna get the test which we define in the every single line, assuming we read the real log file. So in here you have scan for bad practice, three pair of double quotes, and you extract the work. Thing to remind, we're using regular present. Let's do import. Yes, and that is on Winnick. And we're gonna return the file on regular present, file on the work we have, and in here we only search for a single work, or we try to extract a work. So I'm gonna using this regular present right here, try to work from line right here. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna build the pattern for a regular present to extract the thing you want. You start with the R, and B for break line, and whenever you go to the you make the work the white space, you avoid them, you avoid for the top, and using this regular expression again, you will have the pattern, and that will ignore the punctuations in work. I mean in the line or in the sentence. So it's gonna be the same. Brief and that is what we want for the extract the work test. So and make sure in here we do put them in the lowercase. So here test lower k lower. Yeah, we need one more close parenthesis. Yeah, and it does all we want for the buzzer clock. I mean, it does all we need for the log buzzer class. So let's scan this file to. So we have this log and this parser log. So this is not a good way to practice coding. But again, I just want to point out when you starting programming, for me in my experiments, I would like to think about the application, and I would love to do like reverse engineer uh, some outcome we already done, and always looking for the better way to improve the program. With that mindset, I believe that is how I get into the development world. So cap challenge right here. However, let me see. So we need to read the file, we extract the what we're looking for, and we need to find the way to. So actually we need two regular present here. One looking for the work. The second one we're looking for like extract the time stamp, the log level severity. Okay, log level severity. Okay, then let's do define. What a good name for this one. Uh, pass log entry. With like we go through every line, single line right there, line. So you look at right there. Mm. So right here and let the book three pair the book cool. So we pass the timestamp and log level from a log line. So this with this one doing, we going to do the same thing. We create the regular expression with look at right there. It's so nice to see like you already wrote the code and you know what the code look like, right? Yeah, but make sure you type it correct with the pattern. So right here we have ID. Actually, I'm kind of cheating. I'm lazy to type. I'm blind. So in here you can see line. So okay, pattern gonna be decimal digits for that is the first group, right? Yeah. And the two. Oh man, just look at eyeball them. I know I always recording during the night and my eye always tired. But you know, no pain, no gain. And is that two? Yeah, another digit for two. And that is the first group we have. And the second group for the log severity, so it can be three, right? Oh no, this is include this is for first group, and the second group we want to get on the space. Then ignore the string, get the string, and on the white space and the punctuations gonna be removed if needed. Yeah, and in here we have the line we passing to reading Again, when you're writing the code, don't worry so much about the syntax, especially if you're taking the interview. They more likely to want you to talk out loud, just like me right now. It may be weird, but you know, no weirdo, no weirdo. What is the weirdo? I don't know. So if we find the mask, then we're gonna return the what we're gonna return. We going to return mask. Actually, at this point, like if we return the mask, it's gonna contain the timestamp. Time. Let me see. I already make the e timestamp and log entry. So if we go up here, let's create a class for log entry. In here, like symbol, you will have the timestamp and the log level. Log level. Yeah, for now, that is the log entry gonna how it look like. We will see how that's go. But even here, if you in class, you only have two. What is it? What is two variable that is timestamp and log. So in here, if you want to return, you're gonna get the match into like for example, we got the group one match, right? We're gonna pass that into the log entry for match dot group one and match dot group two entry. Yes, and did we want lower or upper? Yeah, we want to upper. So we upper log entry log and L. If they not there no match, it means no pattern look like the regular expression we build, then we just return no. Okay, it seems like that is what we get into for separating the parser from the work counter. Now, how do we test this one? Huh, good question. Let's see. How do we test this one in the work counter? Okay, let's test them out. So we gonna get out of this, and because like we only have the parser, so let's go and copy the work counter to become a main at the driver class for this tutorial for now. So with that, you're gonna have backslash work counter and main, and if we open it, we can see the main just look exactly the work counts program. However, it's a different name, and in here we want to import the parser from the file we have. Let me get out of this. So yeah, it's still the same. We only have the log analyzer. Let's focus on modify this main function. Let me expanding this window. So insert first we need to import from the separate from the parser. We need from we want to import the log. So actually, you know what? Let me open this file. So we're gonna go to here, and we want to open the parser. So we have this irregular, and in here we're gonna have the log parser, right? Yeah, log parser and log entry. Okay, so log parser and the log entry. This is how you import from the parser file. You define the class for both. Simple, right? Yep, so simple, so easy. Now let's see, how do we modify this call work function to utilize this parser? So we still want this top L. Yeah, we want that. We have the parser right here to read the file. So probably we don't need this. So let actually don't remove any code, just start typing instead of removing, because you don't want to remove the code you spend a lot of time to write. So we're gonna have the get line. We utilize the log parser and read file, because you import the log cell right here, and to cut out the read file function, you just need to like log parser dot read file. Easy, simple. Yes, log file, and we're passing the parameter for file path. Yeah, study how we got the parser, and since we also looking for the test right there to remove trick law, so you're gonna have the test. So again, we try to use the log parser, but the function supposed to be have the same behaviors at e before we modify the code. So we gonna first in here we have to join the line, those lines together, because we want to search for like one long line for the work that appear or like count on the work. So we're gonna join those tests together, and the work you're searching for, you can use the log parser extract work and test. Extract the work you're looking for. How? Because in here like we have the extract work right here, right? Actually extract work, not works work. Okay, so let's modify this a little bit. That is great to have two windows open, isn't it? Great, great, great. So extract the work. We got the task. We return if we can find on the work we're looking for. And with that, then it can be simple. Everything will be the same right here. Yeah, now you can remove this, remove this, remove this, and everything be the same in here. You get the work count from workouts from the work, and you're gonna do the same thing, get a top work and return the top work, and everything's same. Don't have anything, we just need to modify a little bit on this. And again, we will have the count work file separately, but for now let's focus on one file at a time. Let's make the log parser working first. So with that, the program's supposed to be behave the same. Let's try it out. And in here we have the main, right? So Python. So actually I'm lazy, so I just try to like go up to see the command I'm looking for. So in here we have, no, not this one yet. Oh, by the way, we need to copy the log file. We go into examinate in this function. For now, we don't have any file in this directory, so you need to copy dot dot one up to one directory, looking for symbol doc test and doc. Now look at that. Cool, we have the symbol file. So at the program behavior, let's see if that's behavior correctly. Main Python, and if you give that the file symbol and don't tell anything. Oh, invalid syntax. What gonna happen? It happened in the parser at line 13. Realistic, right? So if we go to line 13 right here, what it's telling you is except, oh, so we have the problem with the indents. In here, so try cast. Again, it takes a lot of time, but in Python, it's pretty sensitive about the indent and space you given between the function or the program or a line of code. So in here, it really my problem, nothing else. Yeah, see, and quick, open again. So now let's try here again. So symbol main, timestamp is notify. Okay, timestamp, timestamp. Wait, that's line number 4, parser locker entry, class log entry. In log entry in notify. Oh, why we don't define anything in here? Let's look to see what the problem right here. Timestamp 3 name error. Hmm. We do define that up here, the log entry timestamp. So in here we define the class, but we don't really tell them what is this class data decoration. Examine the field, examine the field at timestamp log level again. So let's fix this. So we have the data class with a class decorator to find the field for the timestamp and string and log level. So we might need to, we have to import that from data classes. Import data class. I think that is how, yes, that is how it's supposed to be done. We talk more about how the decorator in Python working in different tutorial or different video, different short or whatever, whenever if you have the time. Right, and quick, go back in here, not try again. Timestamp notify. Oh, do we need to define the type? Oh, we're using Python. So different between Python 2 and Python 3. In Python 2, you don't have to define the type of the field in the data decorator, but in the Python 3 you might be. So let's try it out. For example, in here we have two string, right? And timestamp notify. We define the string, and this one also the string, right? Now we got different error at least encoding invalid. Okay, that is the typo, so we can fix that pretty quick. So in here, encoding, and try again. Now it says like different error encoding unknown like UTF. Oh my gosh, look at me. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Damn it. I'm so sleepy and I try to make this work for you guys. Alright, so look at right there that something we need to be aware when we try to be creative, just like me. That's it. I'm stupid. But again, we have to declare the data class at the decorator if you want to just define the field in the class you're going to use. So in here, We have the data class decorator, define the log entry, we define the field for timestamp and log level. And I know we're not gonna use on this tutorial. I already plan out everything. We're not gonna use in here, so we might not need for now, but we would delete. We have some typo, we have some problem. But again, that the first part of this tutorial. We just go into one by one, and we start like removing a lot of things in the main later in here. But for now, its function and behavior are the same. We're using the log parser for the work counter, and we're gonna separate this work count function in separate file in the coming video as well. For now, if you have any feedback, feel free to comment down. Give me the thumb up, please. I know people give a thumb down. It's fine. Just give me the feedback. And if you like my channel, just subscribe and see you in the next video.